This broadcast is sponsored by Judge Joe Brown's Barbecue Sauce. Judge Joe Brown's Barbecue Sauce is for all your barbecue needs. Delicious on barbecue, vegetables, and greens. Again, Judge Joe Brown's Barbecue Sauce. Get yours today at jjbbbq.com. Again, jjbbbq.com. And for all things Papa Duck merchandise, to include signature t-shirt. In order to be found, you must first be lost, and a wide array of hoodies and long sleeves. The links can be found in this broadcast. And as you know, for those that have been on my platform, the Honorable Judge Joe Brown, whose barbecue sauce is a sponsor, is running for Mayor of Memphis, which he did announce as well during the development of his website and once it went up. So that link as well is in my description. So please make sure you support. Happy Monday to one and to all. Trusting all are safe and well, and extending our virtual rose and love from a distance. My apologies for this delay. However, after the interview earlier today and a couple of uploads I had to run out, and I was in the office longer than anticipated. But it comes with it. That being said, today was such a remarkable day. And for those who may not have had the opportunity to see this interview, which wasn't long, but it will be forever evergreen in my memory bank. A true inspiration to me, and I believe to anyone who actually not only listens, but hears the message. And this interview was with Dr. Lenise Bias, mother of Len Bias. And I wanted to speak on that just a little. Many of you, I'm sure, quite aware of what happened. And she explained that in the beginning. And that is where I did not want to go, because just as a mother, that's just something I wouldn't be able to do. But the Spirit made it where, hey there, Blackbird, give me one quick moment, and then you can go ahead and do your thing, because I know that's what you were waiting for. But as a mom to lose two, there was no way I was going to bring that up. But as I was saying, the Spirit made it where I didn't have to. She did. She shared that and everything that she went through and how her faith has sustained her. So again, there was much more in there, and it was so powerful. And I was saying, as a mom, having to endure what she did, I wouldn't be able to speak on it. At least I don't believe I could. Other people, depending upon their strength, can, but as I said, the Spirit made it where I didn't have to, and I just focused on the memories, and the end result or takeaway is that we all can have dreams and aspirations despite obstacles and circumstances, and they can come true. Blackbird, I forgot you're 21, so you don't have any idea. Well, let me put this picture up right here because arguably many believe this young man who definitely left us far too soon, again, arguably may have been or could have been better than Michael Jordan. So if you do your background and research on MEMPHIS, who was a star for the Maryland Terrapins and drafted by the Boston Celtics, you'll hear his story because unfortunately he wasn't able to play not one game, and that's whose mother I interviewed today. So it was truly, truly amazing. And also, what I want to touch on was faith, endurance, and truly being spiritual. There are many that may purport to be spiritual and walking with that spirituality. However, the behavior is absolutely the opposite. There are many who will label themselves as being regal. However, some of the things that come out of the mouth and your actions are far from being regal. This woman, this poised, eloquent woman, is the epitome of excellence and being regal. And you would never hear nor see some of the behavior that's been displayed, not just on social media, but in public. She also has a foundation called the Bias Foundation. But again, that information is in the interview. And I just wanted to touch on how the Spirit works. I am a true believer in being grounded in faith. And the prayer that she spoke to me towards the end was extremely powerful because I never shared with her my personal obstacles. But when you're deep like that and you're on the same frequency and level, you can feel. And again, before many people, not all, it depends on the person, but at least the people that I've dealt with, they'll check. because they have vested brands that they need to protect. So that's why it's very, very important to make sure how you walk and talk are one and the same. You never know what connections can be made, and through others, how you could be connected. And I've said this for months. Just because I may not speak on something, please do not believe I may not see nor hear. I'm actually working on a couple of more things before the end of the year. Actually, it was with my first sponsorship. And once it's decided whether or not something can be done, that too shall be added. So, for some who may think or may make it appear that are not aware of certain things, I'm always going to be, if not one, 2 steps ahead, and I always document. So I just wanted to make that clear. And also, and this is for everyone, never allow anyone to deter you from what you believe in your heart. Some may not quite understand, others may, but that was true confirmation. And again, her words were so powerful. And again, those of you who may know her story, and she said in the very beginning, which is also something very important. Again, this goes to character and behavior. She doesn't grant too many interviews. So again, all that I have endured over this year and then previous years, but this year has been really rough. But towards the end, I couldn't ask for anything more. She blessed so many with her words and strength. And just as she said, it's been 36 years. But she is still working in the communities, working with young girls and young men, and has revamped her foundation. And one of the members may become a volunteer. So again, you do not know what can be born out of true, sincere, positive networking. Now, how others choose to present is totally up to them, and I don't judge. People have to use whatever lane they feel is comfortable and profitable for them. I seek to network and learn and to provide positive information to others while I continue to learn and grow. And any negative energy, I truly do not want that near me or this platform nor those that decide to join in. Because again, when you have two spirits that are opposite, two things will happen. One may infect the other, or one will flee. And I've seen that happen. And I haven't changed my demeanor at all. I've been extremely kind, even to people that I know that my mom used to say would burn the candle on both ends. And again, that will happen for a little bit, but eventually that too will grow old. You cannot have good and evil coexisting too long. One of those spirits will walk away or flee. I prefer to use the latter, which is flee. And that's because too much ingestion of negativity poisons you. And I've said this many, many times. And I'm seeing it play out in real time. So I truly hope people will take the opportunity to listen to her story and the gems and jewels that she provided as a true blueprint in enduring and being positive. So with that, it is supposed to be Victory Monday, and I'm sure it is for some, but not for me. And Blackbird, I believe you sent a message that the Giants won against the Commanders. If that is true, because I did not have the opportunity to fact check, then I just may go missing in action, because that's unbelievable. Hey there, Cache. How are you? Thank you for stopping by. Happy holidays if you celebrate. Happy December and happy Monday. Oh God, it must be true then. Oh my goodness. Did they really win, Blackbird? Or are you joking with me? Because seriously, I did not even check. I was so disgusted after that debacle. And the funny thing is, my selections were going pretty good. And then they went south. They went south. I was actually on the road and I left out with confidence. Like, we've got this. I don't have anything to worry about. Wait a minute, Blackbird. Oh, happy holidays. You're quite welcome, Cache. Don't be a stranger. Yes, Blackbird. Let me go ahead and type it for you. Let me make sure I type this for Black good. Let's see. I do. This is really hurting me. Apologize. apologize for my faux pas in selecting Giants to lose. Please forgive me, Blackbird. There. It did hurt. It hurt really bad to have to type that out. But unlike some, I can take my licks. Oh, it hurt. I'm in excruciating pain. And I'm going to leave that up for a while for all to see. Does that make you feel good? Oh, I've got to find a hand. Hold on. Hold on, Blackbird. Let me find a hand so I can raise. And I'll raise it high. Now see, Blackbird, next time, you just make sure you don't disappear. Oh, Blackbird, give me a break. There you go. Hold on, I'm trying to find a hand. There we go. Matter of fact, let me give you two. Hopefully, that will suffice. Are you happy now? Good. Now, who played tonight? Because I literally just got in. I know, Cache, you wouldn't believe what this man puts me through. But yes, I literally just got in. So, of course, I missed Monday Night Football. What is he saying? I heard it was an accident in Florida. A cowboy ran into a jaguar. See, you're a little bit inaccurate with that because from my understanding, it was overtime. And honestly, it shouldn't have even gone into overtime. So I'm feeling, hey there, Miss Queen. I'm feeling a little sick right now. Now, see, I'm not going to take too much of the name calling, Blackbird, but again, I said I would be available to be roasted after I did my introduction, so enjoy it. I've got time. I've got time. No, I could not believe it. No, I mean, I didn't feel well because of that loss, because I was positive that when I left out, they were going to win. And when I heard that on the radio, I'm like, oh my God, this isn't happening. And then when I got in and heard that the Giants also won, I was like, oh no, I'm really going to get roasted. No. Oh, I'm not sick, Cache. Actually, I was and have been down. The holidays for me, like many, aren't good. But today, today was again amazing. And Cache, I don't know how long you've been here, but I had an amazing, amazing interview today with Dr. Lanice Bias, and that is such a strong, positive woman, and some of the things that she said, it gave me chills, and it was just wonderful. And again, Blackbird is far too young to really remember, but I think, at least in the Maryland area, many people know about that story. So, again, being afforded that opportunity to just fellowship and have a great conversation and just speak about memories and enduring some of the challenges we have for life absolutely was motivating and inspiring. Absolutely. And I know exactly the area she was speaking of. hmm Landover, Maryland. So it was amazing. I was so nervous because I did not want to say the wrong thing or bring up anything that may have brought back anything um, unpleasant. And everybody grieves a different way, but she exudes so much strength. So that actually empowered me as well. So I've been very blessed. DAC interceptions. Again, I have not even had the opportunity to look at any of those games or things of that nature. Oh, okay. Is it an actual playoff or wild card? As I said, normally I would have all of that together, but I didn't. I didn't. My interviews are normally in the evening time, but oh God, are you serious? But this one was midday, so a lot of things had to be shifted, but I didn't mind, trust me. He threw a pick six in overtime. Did Zeke play, or was he a non factor? Because from what I was listening to on the radio, and they could be biased, I'm not sure, that some of the calls may have been bad. Which one, Dak or Zeke? Knowing you, you'll probably say both. I'm waiting, Blackbird. Go ahead and type both in because I know that's what you're talking about. Figures. No, seriously, that's what I heard. I haven't even seen a highlight as of yet. Both. I'll look at them. I can't do it tonight. I'm tired. But as long as they clinch the berth, well, I did say that. So I am correct on that. But even the Saints won. Now that I do know. And the Lions won, who I did select. I remember that as well. But again, I honestly don't want to talk about the Cowboys right now. I cannot believe they did that. I think the refs helped the Jags. But that's just my opinion. Since we beat the Commanders. Okay, so what does that mean for you all? Did you all at least get on the wild card? You should have. I'm not sure. I'm thinking you did, but again, I have to look to see to be sure. And again, like I said, I didn't even have the opportunity to see tonight's game. I was at the office. That's exactly what I said too when I selected the Cowboys. I said the Cowboys over the lowly Jags. And the lowly Jags happened to beat the Cowboys in overtime at that. And then you said, look, a pick six. Please don't tell me that they were in field goal range, because if they were in field goal range and Dak threw, then that's going to make me even more sick. It really hurts that the Jag beat you. At this point, Blackbird, it's going to hurt no matter who wins. But that's just unacceptable. Well, I've always said, and I will stand on this, I do not like Dak's passing game at all. I'm just nervous about it. And I've said that, I want to say, probably back to week 8. What did you say? The Jaguars. Blackbird, do I need to go back a couple of videos when you went missing for a week twice? I'm sure he's around. Not in these parts, but I'm sure he's still around. Oh, you said that was week 14? I'm not sure when it was. And when I have the opportunity, I'll find it. But yes, you disappeared. You disappeared on us twice. As a matter of fact, when was it? Was it week 14? They actually switched, whatever week it was, they cut it off because the blowout was so bad that they put another game on, if my memory serves me correctly. Well, go ahead and celebrate, Blackbird. It is Victory Monday. You have exactly 2 more minutes to rub my nose in it. See, everybody's not going to allow that to happen, but I'm a good sport. See, you're using my words against me. No, we didn't. And I said that. Actually, I typed it after I created this broadcast. No, we didn't. And I think we play this weekend. Yes, according to you, the Giants won. But you never said what the score was. And you still didn't say who played today. Because I have absolutely no clue. Yes, you did. And I selected the Cowboys, which is also on the replay. And I was emphatic. Yeah, right. You wish. And I haven't even seen any highlights, to be honest, about the Commanders losing. What did you say? Packers and Rams played today. Did the Packers win? If you tell me that they won I'm going to scream. They did? Wow. Unbelievable. I need to look at the standings. I truly do. But you made me feel a little bit better when you said that at least the Cowboys did clinch a playoff berth. And I've said that from the beginning. And I also said they would win the Super Bowl. However, I keep hearing the Bills' name being a possible Super Bowl candidate. Actually, I heard that a couple of times. So we shall see in the coming couple of weeks. My Black Credit say. So they could lose in the first round as usual. So are you about to say we are a one and done? I mean, honestly, that is what you're saying, but I'm just confirming it. I don't really like to assume. Blackbird, if I were you, I would make sure that you and your team also will go to the playoffs. That should be your concern right now. Okay? Take care of home first. That's a rule of thumb. Can you do that? Okay. Okay. Yes, yes, yes. You all won yesterday. Again, I'm glad, actually, to be honest, I haven't seen any highlights because I would probably be in a unpleasant mood. You have a 90% chance of making the playoffs 2012. Okay, cool. As I said, I'll look at those, but there's no way I'm going to do that tonight. My head is kind of aching a little bit, tired, but I'll look at the schedule to see what's coming up and see when I'm going to schedule again to make my selections. I'm kind of proud of myself with my picks. But some of the key games yesterday that should have been wins or losses. And of course, and Lobo had something, I believe, tonight. I saw it pop up on my phone. Yes, him and Doug. I'm sure they're all right, especially Doug. Now that I do know for sure that the New Orleans Saints won because one of my members put it in the chat, and I'm like, no, she didn't. So that was actually funny. I'm like, oh my God, I'm being, oh yeah, they're fine. No doubt. They are fine. Uh-oh, did I lose connection? Leave me alone, Carcino. Leave me alone. That was sick. Carcino, did you get the? Oh, I didn't get to see that, but he should have covered the Cowboys. I'm gonna kill him. So, Carcino, I know you are a big sports fan. Did you see my interview? Did you have a chance to critique it? I don't know if Carcino is still in here or not. But if you haven't, I think I sent the link to you. It was amazing. I was nervous, but it was wonderful. Hey there, Big Pontiac. How are you? You forced them? Yeah, right. Lobo would have kicked your little butt out of there. Oh, okay. Well, make sure you see it. It was with Dr. Lanice Bias, Lynn Bias's mother. Oh God, Giants Nation again, Blackbird. Please make sure that you at least make it to the playoffs. Now, I do recall that you said you had a 90% chance, but that's not 100%. So keep that in mind. But yes, Carcino, that was amazing. And big, yeah, it was on members only, where she actually engaged with a couple of people in the chat, and then I released it publicly. It wasn't long, but it was extremely powerful. Very strong woman. And as I was saying earlier, I didn't have to speak on the circumstances. She did, so that took a lot of pressure off of me. But very beautiful, powerful woman. Amazing strength. Big Pontiac says, Eagles rolled, but Magnum PI may take them home. I don't know who Magnum PI is. Big Pontiac. Eagles are about to start losing. Now, I believe Lobo said that earlier on in the season that they were going to pump up the Eagles early on, but then towards the end, they're going to start lacking off. So I do recall him saying that. And Blackbird actually, Lobo did say that. Eagles backup quarterback. Oh, okay. I am not a Philly fan, so I know nothing about them. And as I was telling Blackbird earlier, I didn't see that. Hey there, Ricky. Oh, you were hearing? Yeah, she spoke about that. She spoke about Lynn and Jay. And again, I wasn't going to at all. I couldn't. And when she started to, it took everything not to start bawling. My eyes got a little bit watery, but not too bad. But no, it was beautiful. I'll send the link. I believe I did, but I did release it publicly. So if you haven't seen it, I'll send it over. And Blackbird says Cowboys will probably beat the Eagles. Now see, Blackbird, it's one thing to roast somebody, and it's another thing to put salt in a wound. But it's just cruel to sit there and make a comment like that, knowing the eagles are like way up. They're in the upper echelon. And the way I heard them talking on the radio with that Dallas loss, I don't even believe that. Eagles will win the division. I know you're being facetious, but it's okay, Blackbird. It will come back around. Ricky says, I forgot about Jay. I want to say Jay played at Northwestern before he. Yes, she spoke on that early on in the very beginning. And as I said, I prayed before I went live because I already knew what I wanted to speak about, and those incidents were not. And again, the Spirit works in mysterious ways where I didn't have to. She spoke about them not long, but it basically was a segue into where her faith and strength came from. So I was saying that earlier, as far as women and men, that's the epitome of strength and excellence and being on the level of being regal. You would not hear some of the things or see some of the behaviors, not only on social media, but some of the things you would hear out, like in the market earlier, before I went into the office. There were some young girls in there, and they could not have been no more than 16 or 17. And the language that was being used, it was just deplorable. I'm sure, well, I would hope they don't act that way inside, but you don't know what goes on in people's homes. But if there were to be a role model, and again, knowing that story and what she's had to endure and the faith that she exudes, even her appearance and how eloquent she spoke, that's the epitome of excellence that a lot of people may attach to their names, but no. Mm-mm. Well, in my opinion. Of course. And you have a few more moments. And while you continue your flaming, let me see if I can send this to Ricky. I'm waiting, Blackbird. No, I don't do this too often. I told you I can take my licks. I don't run away like some people do. Anybody that's run away after their team is lost, raise your hand. As a matter of fact, raise your ruler. I'm waiting, Blackbird. You better find a ruler. And didn't you say that you were sick and that's why you disappeared? Didn't you? You did. You disappeared. You disappeared. Hold on for a minute, Blackbird. Dr. Lenise Bias is a true role model for women today. Let me read that again for some people who may need to hear that. And if some people's feelings get hurt, so be it. Dr. Lenise Bias is a true role model for women today. She weathered a tremendous storm of life in losing 2 sons and becoming an advocate for fighting drug abuse in our country. Absolutely right. And you worded that perfectly. And it really angers me to see and hear some of the things that I do. As I said, not just on social media, but outside. And it's not just the young men, it's the women too. I mean, I've heard young guys get off the school bus and they'll put their book bags down, and just the language and the disrespect shown towards older people, some of their own classmates. It's just unreal. And she spoke briefly on that as far as her foundation is concerned. And Judge Joe Brown has spoken the same things as well. As a matter of fact, Friday, he spoke on that, about getting men to man up and be men again, and the women. So I am utterly pleased and blessed to have had such strong forces in our communities to be on this platform, to speak their truth and what they see for the future and how to build for the generation coming behind us. It's like they spoke in tandem, even though different dates, one on Friday, one on Monday, their message was almost the same. So again, that's a blessing in itself. So let me get back to Blackbird, who is going to run this in the ground. Let me see what the key is saying. I'll try and get it. I haven't watched the entire Judge Brown interview yet. I caught the tail, and that was 3 hours. I did not expect that to go that long either, but we spoke a lot about the Sam Bankman-Fried case, and there's a lot more coming out with that. I'm not going to say too much right now, but yeah, we were on that for quite a while, and then we were speaking on Shanquella Robinson as it relates to jurisdiction, and if the suspect or suspects are found in the U.S., who would have the lead, so to speak. And he said that it would be Mexico, even though there's a treaty. So it's just a lot. But it was good. Enlightening as always. But again, as I said, it was a 3-hour long dialogue. But I could listen to him for hours because he has so much wisdom. And the way he was breaking down about crypto and just the trades and the hedge funds. I mean, I had already did a video on that, but other things are coming out now, which again, I'm not going to really speak on right now. I'm going to do a little bit more research on that, but one of the first things he said, he was on the money because it's starting, well, how can I put it? There are suspicions, I'll just use that word, that are starting to surface now. And that's one of the first things that he said. So it's amazing. And that is why I just love listening to him, because he comes with a wealth of knowledge. And those that actually have the opportunity to listen, you will be blessed as well, because so much is going on. And he breaks it down. There you go. Are you happy? Here you go, Blackbird. But yes, you're going to have to put some time aside or listen to it in chunks. But the very first part, which was pretty lengthy, was directly about Sam Bankman-Fried and the cryptocurrency and fraud arrest that recently occurred. I'm not sad. I'm talking about something that's really important that's going on in the world. These are football games, which, don't get me wrong, I love football, but I'm talking about reality and lives and things of that nature. No, I don't agree with that. Cooper Rush is fine just where he is. Dak just needs to stop throwing the ball, in my opinion. So it is now, what is it, 12:23. Do you have anything else you would like to add, Blackbird? Because I've given you free reign. No, I wasn't talking about that. I was talking about Dallas. I know. 3 o'clock. Oh, so that's why you're so riled up. Figures. No, I said Cooper Rush is fine where he is. And I don't think they're going to be a factor. Dak just needs to stop throwing the ball, and especially in clutch moments. In my opinion, the run game to me has been better. And again, I've said this from early on. Again, my opinion, but we've heard what's happened, and I'm glad I didn't see it, because I know I would have blown a gasket. And I said, don't be so sad. I was talking about Dallas. Oh, I'm not sad. I'm not sad. Honestly, I'm not. I'm irritated. Truly, because as I said, when I left out of here, I didn't think any more of it. I said, we've got this. And lo and behold, I don't think I was driving more than 15 or 20 minutes. And everything seemed to change. And then when I heard even want to talk about it. Yes, her is okay. I am fine. I'm tired, but yeah, I'm fine. Ricky says, I worked the Giants Commanders game last night. I'm sorry, but I gotta go to work just in time. Oh, no, you did not. Ricky, why'd you dog me? Why did you just dog me? That's so messed up. That's messed up. All right. I'll remember that, Ricky. That was cold. You just had to rub it in. I'm good. Seriously, Blackbird. I know you did. And trust me, you're not alone. I am sure there are many who loved it. But at the same time, there are many that love that the Commanders lost, I'm sure. That's the rivalry right there. The Cowboys and the Commanders. Do they play again? See, you're going to continue to talk, and the same thing that happened not too long ago will happen again. I know you were. I have no doubts. See, I'm not running. I'm letting you talk all the mess that you want to talk. See, again, I am not a sore loser. It's not a good quality. Trolling Commanders fans at work and online. That's what you were doing? You're playing a dangerous game. I know they were hot. And the funny thing is, I haven't even had a chance to listen to Doc Walker yet. And I always make it a point to listen to him directly after a Commanders game because he goes off. No, I'm not. Absolutely not. You do not hear any frustration in my voice whatsoever. You hear peace. Ricky said, I don't like that the Commanders lost. We play y'all January. Why so late? We don't know yet. Another flex game situation. Oh, wow. So, did you listen to Doc after the game, Ricky? Because as I said, he goes off. I don't know who's more passionate, him or B. Mitch, but that's something that I normally do, but I didn't get a chance to do that. But I know one of the two had a fit. I love listening to Doc Walker. He goes in. He sure doesn't. And I know he went in yesterday, and I missed it. Blackbird said, I didn't think we would win. Well, to be honest, and this is no shade, but again, these are just my opinions. The Commanders, historically, for the past, I know 5 or so years, have done the same thing. They will show glimpses. They'll show little glimmers of hope that they're really going to do it. It was like that insurance commercial where the guy has a fishing pole, and I think he was trying to retrieve $1 or something. He was like, "You almost got it. You almost got it." That's how it is with commanders. It's like they get you there and just leave you. Ricky says, "I didn't catch too much of him yesterday or today. I was exhausted and resting all day. I feel you." I'm hanging on. But like I said, I got on as soon as I got in, and I didn't want to make it too late. They tease us that flop, great analogy that they do, and it is going on. I was generous in saying 5 years, but it may have been longer. I mean, the quarterbacks have been like a revolving door. The coaches have been like a revolving door. Um, I didn't even get to see, like I said, any of the highlights or post game pressers. I can only imagine how Rivero may have felt. But as far as the Cowboys are concerned, seeing that this pick six happened in overtime and still no one has said if they were in field goal range. If that is the case, they may need to look at, and I said this before, McCarthy packing his bags. Blackbird said, trivia question, when was the last time y'all went to an NFC championship game? To be honest, Blackbird, I have absolutely no idea. I'm going to assume it's been a very, very, very long time. I don't know. And that's the honest truth. I absolutely have no idea. Perhaps you can look that up for us and let us all know, because I don't. But yeah, Ricky, that's the pattern of the Commanders, formerly known as the Washington Football Team, formerly known as the Redskins. I always record my game. I haven't watched it yet. Maybe later this morning. I don't record them. What happened to all that trash you were talking? I was on cloud nine last week. We couldn't stop you. You slowed down. I did. I did talk trash. And I'm going to continue. I know actually I didn't slow down. I had a job I needed to get done. And I said I wanted to hurry up and get back. But again, it took me longer. And I am glad that I did not see it. Because I probably really would have said some not so pleasant things. So no, I didn't slow down. I was just driving. Trust me. I would have been on there. I would have been on my community wall, posting every second. Oh, okay, Ricky says I can tell you. 1995? Are you serious? No, that can't be right. Hold on. Let me do something really quick. That doesn't even look good at all. 1995. Oh my God. And I can't even delete this off of the screen. Are you serious? You beat my Steelers in the Super Bowl. Well, that's your answer, Blackbird. Thank you for that startling shock back to reality. Yeah, 27 years. That's older than you, Blackbird. That is ridiculous. You'd think America's team could do better than that. Well, honestly, it isn't like they have not had the talent. A lot of people are pointing their fingers at Jera. I don't know how much credence to put into that, but a lot of people do. I bet you are. And I'm not even going to lie. When he said that, I was like, no, that must be a typo. Because I knew that was over 20 years. I didn't know exactly how many, but I knew it was over 20. Man, oh man, the Shebas, that is horrible. That's why I said you weren't even born, Blackbird. Lord. Yeah, but I mean, so do many teams. But if you're not working together as a cohesive unit and you make bonehead plays and you mismanage clock management, what do you expect? I mean, bottom line is this: a lot of these teams, in my opinion, they give games away. Perhaps, but to your defense, Blackbird, I have a friend, Bill. Oh, Billy, diehard Giants fan. And for the past several years, you all have had horrible seasons. But out of nowhere this year, y'all were brought to life. Go figure. But the Commanders, or whatever you want to call them, they've been consistent with showing, like I said, promise, and then at the end, they just do something absolutely ridiculous and throw it away, in my opinion. What do I think about the picture of the 14-year-old Jerry Jones protesting the integration of schools in Arkansas? I spoke on this before. I feel the same way about that as I do about the organization in Washington and the treatment of some of the players and those in the front office. If you're going to call it down the middle, you got to look at everybody. And Blackbird says we have. Hopefully that answered your question. Consistently inconsistent. Absolutely. And Blackbird says I was on the phone with Commanders watching the game. That was funny. Silly. But yes, Commanders, this is what they do. In Dallas, again, I have not thrown in the towel with them, but I am not comfortable with Dak's passing game at all. Jacksonville should not have won that game. That game should not have gone to overtime. It's just like when Green Bay, who everybody was beating, turned around and beat the Cowboys. It makes no sense. I mean, it kind of does, but it's football. And if you follow Lobo, he, and I haven't looked at his stream, I'm going to look at that, may think perhaps that could have been rigged. A couple of them probably were. Who knows? Being a Dallas fan ages you a lot quicker. That I have to disagree with. Being a Washington fan will age you a lot quicker. Because those Washington fans, they are die hard. I don't care what type of weather is going on. They will sit in miles and miles of traffic. I remember I got caught in traffic. Something told me to leave earlier. And I really wasn't that far behind, but I got caught into it. And I think I stayed inching for about an hour because of all of those people going to the stadium just for them to lose. Now that made me angry because I hate traffic jams. I mean, I absolutely loathe those. I don't think you can judge a man for what he did some 60 years ago. We can judge him on not hiring a head coach of color since he has owned the Cowboys. I believe he bought the team in 88 or 89. Well, that is questionable. But I believe there are a lot of coaches that do that in many areas. And again, unless someone really stands up about that and many other things, I don't really know when or if the culture will change. I am sure many have said something to him about that. I'm sure it's been talked about. And Blackbird says Giants do too. Yeah. So we will see what happens. '88 or '89. That's interesting. I didn't know when he acquired the team. Actually, I thought it was before then. But I think that's probably died down now. I mean, some people are still going to speak on it. But again, that's my personal feeling on it. I have another FB friend who's a Cowboys at heart. She says Jerry is a racist. He may be, but there are others that could be as well. In Washington. And if you do a little bit of history on that, I don't think you'd be too far off. And again, other teams as well. I can't say that he is. I can't say that he isn't. But I do know that it seems to be a culture in many sports that coaches of color aren't hired head coaches. Also, O-line, D-line, and the special team coaches. It's not just head coaches. You got to look at the entire picture. And again, I'm not saying it is right, but to be fair, you got to look at all of them. Thank you, Blackbird. And I don't really agree with you much, but, and I've said this before when it first came out, and actually, Honorable Judge Joe Brown said the same thing. Well, pretty much the same thing. Donald Sterling. Jack Del Rio, our defensive coordinator, said some stupid stuff about the January 6th insurrection earlier this year. I wanted him fired. Of course, they didn't do it. Well, I did a small piece on 2 Tennessee men that were arrested for plotting to expire, if you will, 37 law enforcement agents. And there are a lot of people that want to sweep that incident under the rug. But anyone who knows anything about Washington, D.C., once you pass 2nd and Independence Avenue, when you are near the, the Rayburn building, actually before you get there, Capitol Hill police are right there, plus that little strip, if you decide to go over it, will tear your tires up. There is no way anyone should have gotten that close. And again, I'm not going to speak too much on that, but there have been people that have been arrested. There have been people who have lost their lives crossing that plane. So, again, yeah, Ricky. So when I heard that, I just shook my head. And again, there's certain things I'm not and can't speak on, but just trust and believe. There's no way that should have happened. Not the way that security is. Not at all. 2nd and Independence Avenue, right before you get to, nope, you are met by Capitol Hill police. So, again, we shall see as these investigations continue. Future flights on speed as we stopped up at the 1 yard line. Okay. Well, good for you all. Ricky says, inside job? I don't know. I wasn't there. I wasn't there. But again, if anyone knows anything about DC and how and where security is set, unless somebody dropped the ball while on post, that's the only other thing I can think of that could have happened. There's a possibility that Jags win their division. To be honest, Blackbird, again, I don't know. I haven't had the opportunity to look at any of the scores or the breakdowns yet. And Blackbird says, I agree, Ricky, inside job. But yes, as I was saying, there were 2 Tennessee men arrested recently who, reportedly had plots to expire 37 law enforcement officials. That's absolutely crazy. What do I think about the possibility of charges being brought upon Diaper Donnie thanks to the January 6th committee? Ricky, to be honest, I truly do not know. Politics, money, power, connections. Sometimes when you have all 3 of those, things and or people can go away. So that's my answer to that. And for a homework assignment, research the Clinton years and how many people reportedly expired due to taking their own lives. Reportedly, plane crash and a discrepancy in autopsies. That's your homework assignment. There's a lot of things that people either never knew or never read or never questioned. But if you look back into that era, you would find some interesting occurrences. And again, I don't know. Plenty of speculation, but I wasn't there. It just seems odd to me. Yep, that's one of them. Indeed. Commanders fans are mad at me. Blackbird, they'll get over it, trust me. I can't believe you remember that, Ricky. Yes. So that actually is a good place to start. There was another headliner of someone who was said to have taken their own life. Is that true? I don't know. That's how it was reported. We aren't taught to question things. We are taught to just accept certain things. Well, young man, that's the problem. (1963). If you look at the footage logistics and timing. This is just my opinion. What was reported and what actually happened, in my opinion, doesn't add up. But again, this is my opinions. But this right here is a dangerous mindset. Somebody else in the administration was said to have committed suicide. Well, again, I implore people to do their research. Do your research. Critical thinkers, it shouldn't be that difficult. Again, rule of thumb. Never just go on what someone says. When you do that, you allow people to install batteries in your back. No, it may not. Some things are innate for people. Some things people learn along the way. Luckily, that's a gift I had. Mathematics is not, but critical thinking, yes. Comprehension isn't either. Absolutely. Same thing with DJ Twitch. Piece some of those things together. It isn't. Common sense isn't very common anymore. One of my favorite expressions lately. Absolutely. But yes, another homework assignment. Look at the or compare how quickly some cases are closed and others linger. All the reports say Twitch was a suicide. And at first glance, before you get a lot of the detail, but if you look more closely and then timelines of certain other things that were going on, to me, it just seems a little bit odd. Normally, in my opinion, people who are extremely depressed and are thinking about just giving up in that way, they often don't make plans for the future. So that's just a little nugget to think about. Blackbird, I'm not even going to respond to that. People need to really wake up to things that are going on all around. And look at the clues. I mean, honestly, it was just spoke upon. If you just dig just a little bit, you don't even have to dig deep, just a little bit. You may see something that seems a little bit off. Ricky says, I hope we get real answers to the Twitch situation because it doesn't become like the Bruce Lee story where we never get answers to what happened. Ricky, unfortunately, we may not get all of the answers, but I believe people will start to question again certain things. Let me see, when did he pass away? Hold on. I don't even remember the date. I'm trying to find it. I can't remember the date. I'm gonna have to okay. 12/16. Don't you like that? No. No, you can continue to roast, but I was looking at something else. So that was 12/16. And I don't know who that is. Okay, so that was 12/16. And I'm gonna find this date. What was the date? Okay, so if DJ Twitch passed away on the 16th. I need to go back 8 days. I'm just doing something quick with some numbers. The 12th. Hold on, gentlemen. I need to check something really quick. Okay. And it seems a bit strange to me that so many black men who become successful and powerful end up in a scandal or dead before they're able to live a full life. Michael Jackson, Prince, Luther Vandross, Marvin Gaye, Bill Cosby, Tavis Smiley, R. Kelly. Tavis Smiley, I'm glad that you mentioned that. I cannot believe him, of all people, got caught up. And there was a broadcast, as a matter of fact, maybe yesterday or day before. I need to find that on Michael Jackson, where a content creator was speaking on him, how he was actually trying to leave messages through his songs about the industry. But as far as Twitch is concerned, and again, this is just from reading, I'm just thinking about things. That big arrest that happened last week, that was discussed on Friday. A lot of people invested in certain things. And this person has now agreed to be extradited back to the United States. So just keep that in mind. By the time it's all said and done, there could be many, many names thrown out and hurled around. We don't know who invested in what. We do know a lot of politicians allegedly had some involvement, meaning investments. So, who knows? Unfortunately, truth seekers and finders meet their demise. And we know how some media outlets will make certain things appear to be a certain way, meaning that everything is packed up nicely before too many people start asking questions and noticing discrepancies. Again, you all can do your research, but things have probably been edited by now, or what certain fields would say has been tainted now. And that's another sad part. The devil is always in the details. You just need to have that discernment and that true third eye to recognize and not just listen to what's being told without digging just a little bit. Sometimes things don't make sense. Hey there, Unity. Happy Tuesday to you. But yes, some things absolutely don't make sense. And you have to use that discernment. And again, just dig a little bit. Not a lot, just a little. How are you, Unity? It's been a long day. But thank you for joining earlier. You missed Blackbird roasting me for about an hour or so. My Cowboys losing. And I took it like a soldier. But no, we were just talking about strange things that happen and how things appear to be one way when they're really not. And if those of you who listened to that interview earlier and someone had mentioned it yesterday, and I may expound on it later. Not this year though, next year. But a very important gem was dropped. And it was basically when I mentioned about people can achieve their dreams. And Dr. Maya says, yes, it appears that way. And she repeated that and followed up with, you have to be cognizant of your circle and your surroundings when you want to move forward. Please do, Blackbird. Please do fall asleep. Night, night. But again, as I was saying, she said that twice. And you have to be careful, or cognizant rather, of your surroundings when you want to move forward. That was, I'll just say, that was a gem, a true gem to what a lot of people suspect or had thoughts That's the word that I'll use. Thoughts about that. Your major networks are owned by corporations. Although it seems they are reporting the truth, it tends to be only truth in part. Part of the reason is time constraints. I agree. Part is covert. I absolutely agree. I prefer to watch Democracy Now! I actually like that as well. The Thom Hartman Show, The Randy Rhoads Show, and others on Free Speech TV Network, which is not bound by the crap that that commercial networks are. Absolutely. Okay, well, I'm sure your family knows about that story and history. And Unity says, I'm a nighthawk myself. Don't sleep a lot. My mind don't shut off at times. I'm like that often. Actually, these past few months, a little. But yes, but it's good that you continue to feed your mind. But you're right, Ricky. I like The Guardian. And as a matter of fact, um, one of my clients who happens to be an attorney had, matter of fact, hold on, let me read his message so I can be accurate. Okay, he has had 4 medications, including the one that begins with a B, and this is the second time he's had C. First time he had C, he had a mild stroke. And that was a year ago. He is either 38 or 39. I like The Guardian too. I use them as a source of a lot of stories I run on my page. I think they're based in the UK. Absolutely. And there was a story that came out about this $1 billion deal involving a tanker and Putin. See, these are the things that people don't read. I'm not going to say all, because the people that I do communicate with, mostly offline, they do read these things and are very aware of what's going around the world that has a indirect and direct effect on the U.S. But rather talk about foolishness. Nothing to prepare at all. No idea of what technologies other countries have, and we are years behind. It's quite sad and scary at the same time. But yes, The Guardian is absolutely a wonderful source. And a lot of those people in different countries, they are going through a lot as well. Trust and believe. And a lot of those stories mirror some of the things that are happening here that we do not hear about because it's not posted in the mainstream media. A lot of things that are pushed, you gotta look at the source and then connect the dots. See who's related to who. And when I say related, I don't mean as in blood or family, meaning business, outsourcing. You do realize many customer service positions are now totally outsourced. And the integration of robots, things that people once used to think was a myth or poppycock, if you will, it's actually true. And you can look that up. I always say fact check. Some truth is right in front of our eyes. Some people choose not to see. And those who do and speak on it are labeled. So it's almost like a catch-22. But that's a wealth of information that you can look up, as I said, in your leisure. And think of it as a puzzle. And compare what was said by source A, and then look at it. I mean, truly look at it and analyze and just ask basic questions. Does this make sense? Where are the records? What were some behaviors prior to certain incidents occurring? And if there are any red flags, I would follow that and continue to look. You may not find much, but you most likely will find what was initially said may not be 100% truthful. And that is all I am going to speak on as far as those issues are this Tuesday, December the 20th. So thank you all who popped in, our members, mods, subscribers, and those that may be listening quietly. You all please be safe, be well. Let me check what Ricky is saying. really quickly. I know exactly what you're saying. There is a lot going on in this time we are in. We had to start fact checking everything. When 45 was in the WH because he lied in every other sentence. It's not all bad. It made a lot of people actually search for real info. The other side of that was many stopped searching once they got the answers they wanted. Cute blackbird. But yes, Ricky, absolutely. There's truly a lot more going on. And some on the other side, I don't believe completely stop searching, but the searching isn't as tenacious, if you will. Absolutely. Absolutely. And there are a lot of people still don't understand that. Let me see what you said. Not thorough. No. I've seen little boxes pop up on certain social media platforms. If you speak about certain things, they'll put like a little box, like you said, in there. I don't care about that box because the information that most people get come from actual sites, verifiable sites. So I don't worry about those. Now to sit there and say Joe Blow off the street said such and such, and you have nothing to link it back to, and it causes issues, then yes, that's a problem. Absolutely, because then they'll try to put you in a box of misinformation. And the irony of it is, a lot of these people, not all, but those that push certain agendas, they are the ones with the misinformation. Now, as I just mentioned, a client of mine has done everything and still ended up with, along with my cousin and a male cousin of mine who happens to be a cardiologist. Okay, let's see who welfare office is. Welcome, welfare office. And why would you say flunky moderators? All right. Sorry about that. Every now and again, we will have uneducated individuals. Yes. Um, will pop in. Okay. Ricky says, I find it ironic that Facebook does that, given their role allowing information to spread before the 2016 and 2020 elections. Absolutely. And you may see some of that again soon. Thank you, Blackbird. But yeah, I went to the account and it's reported. So unless they make up another name, we shouldn't have to worry about idiots like that. But yeah, and as I was saying, you're going to see, in my opinion, a lot of that. I would predict perhaps March, April. Especially depending on what happens after Christmas and the New Year's. Cool. Thank you. But yeah, I would definitely look for that then. And there was actually, I want to say early this year, a label put on 12 people, and they were, I want to say, on the FBI list. They were called the Misinformation 12. And I think in that list were perhaps a couple of doctors or scientists. So that was absolutely crazy. And unfortunately, that's what happens. And if you do a little bit of research and look at some of the federal agencies, a couple of the secretaries of these agencies are no longer there. They actually resigned. So that should tell the tale to many people. Again, you just have to be cognizant and look at certain things and not be too fast to turn a blind eye. But that should give you all plenty to think about if those are interested. And that's just research that I do and pay attention to. Because I definitely don't want to be caught out without knowing anything or not even aware. Unfortunately, some people are oblivious until the crap hits the fan. And again, that is something I don't suggest for anyone. But with that, I am too. I was about to look at the time. It is now 1:36 a.m. and I am about to pack it up and call it a night. But again, thank you to everyone that has stopped through. Blackbird, I hope you enjoyed your roast. Ricky says, I love how you use your platform. You're a blessing, thought provoking without over preaching. Absolutely. I mean, people are going to choose what they listen to, what they believe, what they decide they want to just fly over their heads. I just like to put things out there just to think about. You never know. It's always good to have a different perspective. You as well, Blackbird, since you have to be up extremely early. And Unity says, I'm up. Sleep tight. Oh, thank you, Unity. You do the same. Everyone do the same. As I was saying earlier, please be safe, be well, and you know the rest. Be healthier. Till next time. Bye-bye for now. That's actually from a guy on YouTube, Mob Only. I heard that on his live stream, and I told him I loved it, so he sent it to me. That was so sweet. So yes, I love it. But you all take care.